Hey, what's up? This your boy Elijah. Welcome back to another edition of Humble Dad, if you will. But we're going to be in the mode of seriously curious, and we got a topic today that's, in my opinion, bananas. Something I never even thought about. But you know, Mr. Introvert thinks that it's an interesting topic, so we're going to talk about it. We're going to see should men view single women as women view broke men. And so we just gonna introduce you to these people and see what they're gonna be talking about. We got Mr. King, introvert, and then we got Miss Liara. You know what I'm saying? And this conversation, hopefully you got another topic because I don't know how. Oh, this may be long. I don't know. You don't always you're not long winded. So we're gonna see it, since you King introvert, we're gonna see what they look like today. Because you're gonna have to
Okay.
explain yourself. You're gonna have to explain yourself. Okay. So we're gonna start with you,
Okay.
Mr. King. Why did you post this, bro?
All right. I like to ruffle people feathers every now and then. You know what I'm saying? Trying to see where everybody heads at. So I was like, should we know both viewpoints of how women view men, especially broke men. They don't want them. They don't want to need them. I was like, that's very interesting. I was wondering, so should men also view have the same viewpoint as women, for as single moms um view broke men? Like, should we have that same, like, if I see a single woman, should my viewpoint be the same way as you will view a broke man?
What's your thought on that, Liara? You might seem like you got a question for him.
I I do have a question actually. So
I thought so.
like I feel like the question itself is it calls for rephrasing. I think it's hard to like compare the two. Like in my opinion, the s- s- should single men see single moms the same way women see broke men is like apples and oranges sort of. You know what I
Break
mean?
it down. Break it down. Why you
So
say?
because okay, so single moms
Break it
versus
down.
you're initially putting single moms like against not against but like it's single moms versus broke men, right? It's it what how would why would you even compare the two like that? Like why would you even like how are they comparable?
That's her question, bro. Back it up.
That's a good question. Well, with broke men, there are women. I guess perception, like they don't want them. They lazy. They can't provide anything. So the
Let's
viewpoint for a
clarify real
man
quick.
would
What
be for a single woman.
let's clarify real quick.
Uh,
A broke man.
but
So give me a specific, like give me an example of a broke man.
I guess the stereotype of maybe he's still living with his mom, probably don't own a car. Uh, what else? I guess even a man. Like, I hear women think a man that got 50K still broke. So, which I thought that's interesting. So, so I'm thinking, like, should a man with no, should a man view have that same viewpoint with a single mother, where mainly that she may have a kid, but she doesn't have a man apparently. She's literally just by herself, and she used to be in a marriage that didn't work out, and like you just
You breaking up.
The idea of like you doing that, huh?
You breaking up.
You hear me?
We can hear you, but you
No.
was breaking up a little bit.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know why.
You had the DJ Screw
Oh,
effect.
what I was saying, is, oh, that's crazy. But I can hear you perfectly fine. So, but what I was saying is that if we take that same, I guess, thought process with a single mother that she just single, she's not married, that marriage didn't work out, and you have this baggage over you, and like they feel like shouldn't you have a man? Shouldn't you have this that together? Like shouldn't you have that ring on your finger? Shouldn't you have shouldn't you have all those things together? Why
Right. So
that marriage ended? Like why did you give that man that piece of value to a man that's probably didn't have anything, but you feel like you run the world now?
so
Interesting.
you're basically saying that both have baggage.
Yeah,
There's there's baggage on one end and there's baggage on the other end, and you can't address this person's baggage if you have baggage. Basically, it's 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 still I feel like um it's still not comparable in that way. Like you can't it's I can understand if you're saying should men see should men see broke women the same way broke women see should men see broke women the same way women see broke men. I get understand that question a little better than this question, because I feel like that is it's an even playing field, because you wouldn't understand why a mother is single initially, you know what I mean, like at least you can start from an even playing field when you're comparing two of the same aspects of an individual, you know what I mean.
I understand what you're saying on that premise, but I'm gonna push back on that. Well, as you know, men don't care about women money. So like a man wouldn't care if a woman was broke.
I don't know if that's true anymore.
It is true.
I think now it's changing. I think a lot of young men are coming
it's
out.
true.
I think a lot of, but I
It's
think a lot.
true.
It's
You don't.
something that you think this is facts. Like several people have like you're speaking as a woman and talking to men. You know what I'm saying?
No,
My wife.
I know that, but I'm also observing other men speaking out now, and how they they actually are more drawn to women with their own money, and women who aren't like totally
Those
dependent.
are not men. Those would be
That's
probably
a whole other
simps.
conversation, and
That
that's
so that's what I'm talking about a leader. I'm talking about a man who's a leader. Like
right.
I'm talking
Okay.
about, do you think your husband cares that how much money you make?
No, and
Thank you.
I think, but I do think that it will be a thing if I ended up
Thank
making more. I think
Okay.
I think that could be a thing, like in his personal mind, like in his mind, like I think that can be a if a man has a position of authority in the house, it will be a thing, not
It will not be a thing if you don't make it one.
so. I mean,
Yeah.
I agree. I feel like a man who is like is a man. If we really talking about like manly men, we,
Hmm.
we're also talking about men who can communicate, who can acknowledge that okay, my wife is probably making more money than me now, but I still have authority over the household. Like
Can I
and
give you an example
yeah, sure.
of where it happens? I think her name is Giselle or Gazelle. She makes more money than Tom Brady has forever.
Mm-hmm.
Like he could have taken more money and made more money than her several times. He didn't care that she made more money. I'm just giving an example.
Right.
You know, that a man that has a woman or a wife that's working, he's about his business. He's going to use her finances to continue to build whatever it is that they have. He sees it as a luxury
Mm-hmm.
item. You know what I'm saying? So, but to go back to the statement, that's why I was saying that it is somewhat equivalent because uh, women look at a guy's money as a value or as an asset. A man looks at a woman's womb as an asset.
Okay.
You see, like
Okay.
a man wants to know, is this woman a woman that I can see myself with as well as make babies with?
Right.
Right. So both, the reason why it's comparable is because both are at the top priority of each gender.
Okay.
Right. And so should we, but at the same time, both people should take a moment to talk to that person to see why they are where they are.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So for example, I'm a single parent right now,
Right.
you know, and so it would an individual look at me differently? Probably. You know, a woman coming into my life would have to take on the responsibility of 4 kids. Um, but I'm pretty well established, right? However, she also has to deal with the fact that I lost a wife, you
Mm.
know, and not divorce. Like it's different.
It's different.
And for
Exactly.
anybody that say a death of a spouse is equivalent to divorce,
Right.
they tripping. Okay.
Divorce or separation, right?
Yeah,
Because a lot
it's not the same.
are not even they weren't even married, so it's like, and you have a lot of that now too. That's another topic. That's another aspect of that individual that you have to take into consideration. Why did they decide to even go through with this? Like,
Mm-hmm.
not necessarily with the pregnancy itself, because I'm personally not for abortion or anything, but in terms of the
Better
actual
be careful about that algorithm saying
it,
that type of stuff.
AB.
I'm with you.
But if you're looking at that situation, it's like, why would she even place herself in that situation? Like, how many times has she done this? And now there's so many other question marks like behind this person. So I understand that level of like questioning the woman, like what's going on. And I see, and that's why I'm not against, like, I'm not against I'm not against people holding other people accountable, you know
Mm-hmm.
but I think also the level of like the the level of brokenness that we were talking about, like, is it needs to be spoken about too. So they're like subtopics of this topic that will need to be addressed in order for you to make like a valid, you know assumption about the person in
Yeah.
general before you even step into anything with them.
I would say off top, if I, just to answer the question, I would say yes, they should be looked at as the same. That's the general answer, that they should be looked at as the same, because currently a broke man is looked at bad from both angles, like
Hmm.
from both genders, right?
Hmm.
The more, like, I'm gonna look at a dude that is in my position of age as like, dude, like, you, something's wrong. And even he's about 20, I would say 28. If you're not in the realm of being married,
Hmm.
uh, and having a job or a career, uh, then you're a broke dude. You know what I'm saying? Like, um, because marriage helps you build your wealth.
That's true.
You know, it's studies that show it. You know,
Right.
so it's not a statement of opinion,
Right.
right? And so the sooner you get married, the sooner you can get to your bag, because the woman that helps you get to that bag is totally different than the woman that once you get the bag and now she's there.
Right.
I
Right.
mean, it's totally different, right? The woman that is a single mother, yes, there are situations that transpire where a woman would be a single parent. However, the majority of women choose to be single parents.
Do we know this? Like,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because if
I mean,
80
like,
if
right
70% if
choice.
watch what I'm saying, and then I'll finish up like this. If 70% of women cause divorce or file for divorce, I'm not gonna say
Right.
cause, but they file for divorce, then they are saying I am willing to be a single parent if
That's
they
what I
have
was about to.
kids.
So,
If they have kids.
right.
Okay. And then there are 80% of single parent kids being raised by a single parent.
Right.
Okay. And so that means, and some of those are women, right? Most of those are women. So that also meant that the woman opened up her womb to a dude and then decided to have the baby,
Mm-hmm.
right? Even though I'm against not keeping the baby, right? And so I'm saying she chose to become a single parent.
Mm-hmm.
And
Right.
so a guy that is broke chooses to be broke because there's so many different ways of getting getting paid.
Right.
So
Right.
that's why I would say that it's the same.
I think that, to speak on that point of like that choosing, I think everybody has a choice,
That's
no matter
obvious.
no matter the situation. Like I think everyone has a choice in every, like, you have a choice, you have, and in the sense that you have a choice to grow and move forward, and you have a choice to be stagnant or move backward, right? That's 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 my that's my view on life. Basically, you have these, that's why you always have a choice. So if you're choosing to be like nonverbal in your marriage, and like um refrain from compromising, and like, do just be petty, whatever the case is in within the marriage, then that can that's like you essentially choosing not to be married. That's essentially you choosing not to make this work, not, you're choosing separation, you're essentially choosing divorce. So that's what I mean, like, you make these choices by your micro choices. You know.
For sure.
Yeah.
Like, can you, somebody asking a question for you, Nicholas Johnson. What is broke being defined as? Go ahead and break that down again for him, Mr. Sir Talk a Lot, Mr. King Introvert.
Sir, talk a lot. All right. um, Depending on what the women are saying, like, it's gotten to a point and can literally
You're
have
breaking. You're
50
breaking up.
grand and still be
You're breaking
considered
up.
broke.
You're
Literally.
breaking up. But what are you defining it as?
You hear me?
Yeah, what are you defining it as though? Because every
I
woman
mean,
obviously would have a different perspective. But what are you saying as it pertains to in general for you to even have brought up that topic?
right. I mean, if he's not working, then yeah, he broke.
What about living at home
That's
with his
for
mom?
me. If he's not working, like,
That's
if he's not working and just, I mean, he could be helping his mom for what he know, taking care of his mom, and still have a job. So
Okay.
that also we don't know unless you
Right.
ask
right.
him. But for
Right.
me, it's like if you just like living with somebody and you're not even working, then you broke.
You breaking up, homie. So okay, so there you go. So nucleus, hopefully that answered your question. So a man that is not working would be considered broke. But what if he is working? What if this dude is like 30 years old working at Taco Bell? Shout out to Taco Bell. You know what I'm saying? Hey, I was just about to. I'm saying the same thing, nucleus. You know what I'm saying? We on the same page, buddy. What if he's working, like he said, and making he's working making $15 an hour? Does that mean would you consider him still broke if he's at 40 hours a week?
Like, that's what I'm saying. There's so many levels. Like, there's so many levels to this. Can a person be broke but still have the will to do something?
Well, that's the thing that we're talking about, dude, Liara, that women are already, like the current woman, the modern woman, right, wants the guy to already be established.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Like, she doesn't want a fixer-upper, if you will. She wants a turnkey. So she basically doesn't want to work.
I don't think that's okay. Like, I think that like women expect way too much, especially from like this younger generation. Like, they're never gonna have it all established all there immediately. It's like irrational thinking.
Okay.
Especially when they want to go out into the world and do what they want to do for as long as possible. They want to party, they want to play around and mess around with whoever they want to mess around with. And then when it's time for them to settle down, they feel like then the man within their age range is supposed to just have it all together. Like, that's so irrational. It makes no sense. You might as well go for a sugar daddy, because that's what you are looking for. You want somebody who is older than you, who is established in their business and has a solid financial like future. That's the older generation. Like, you're not going to get that within your generation right now, so
I disagree.
It's hard.
I disagree.
I find that, I think,
because I'm not a pessimist like that, right? There are people for people, right? Like, for example, if I talk to King Introvert for long enough, I could explain to him why he doesn't have a wife. I guarantee you I could, right? Because a man that is looking for marriage prepares himself to be married too.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Same thing with a woman. A woman that wants to be married prepares herself to be married. So I give you
all the time, though. Like, not all the, like, I think that's the problem today. People, they don't prepare. Like, they do not prepare.
I know, that's what I'm saying. But I'm saying the person that does prepare themselves, like a man, for sure, that wants to be married, prepares himself to be married.
Mm-hmm.
Example, he's finna create some type of plan as it relates to my job, my finances,
right?
Where am I gonna live?
Mm-hmm.
Who's on the market that I think I can go get that would like me? What age is she gonna be? How many kids am I thinking I'm gonna have? Like, men that want to be married start planning. Okay. The thing of it is that the current woman, okay, the modern day woman, I won't say current, but the modern day woman decides to think about marriage after 30.
Which is
right? Am I right?
Which is insane to me.
Okay, that's fine. Am I right?
Right.
I believe so now.
Okay.
Yeah, the modern day woman, yeah.
Right. But most men, I guarantee you, and I haven't talked to all of them, would prefer to be married before 30.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So think about that. Men want to be married before 30, but the woman wants to be married after 30. However, if the woman could get back over here and say, you know what, I need to be married between 22, 26, right? Or even 22 to 28, right? Then you will see that she can find a guy. And a guy can definitely find, if he starts that mindset of getting married when he's like, 22, 23, 24, when he's thinking about it, he can get a woman that is in the vein of what he is looking for, whether that is a woman that is working, whether that's a woman that is a stay-at-home mom, a man can find a wife?
I have a little thing with what you said about the marriage
Okay.
and women and when they want to be married. I think women tend to want to be married sooner than that, but they don't want to have kids earlier than that. They don't want to have kids within their within their 20s, because
Okay.
they feel like it's too young. They want to have kids toward their 30s, and that still doesn't make sense because that's like, they have like a peak time for women to produce, and like when you make the most viable and um healthy type eggs, right? It's way before 30. And I think we have it backward. So I think the only reason why, if you feel like women don't want to get married um after 30, is really because they feel like marriage equals kids. So that's probably like the correlation there, because I do feel like they want a level of like commitment and marriage without the prep, and then they also don't want the kids. And
Mm.
men usually, when they enter marriage, they want kids too. Like they want that to happen soon after.
But
And then
you should wait at least 2 years though after you get
after,
married to have kids,
right,
because you want to have that a long time, because you're not going to have it
right,
for next 18 20 something years when you start having kids, right?
right.
So this is a very good dialogue for, because you and I, well, I was married and you are married, and then for Byron to hear these statements as a single dude. Like, Byron, why do you think you're not married? Do you think it's because you're around too many single mothers,
Oh,
or you're not around enough married men?
Zesty question.
it's
You see
probably
me?
because I mean, think you yeah, you break a little bit though.
Say what? Don't start breaking up now.
I said you was breaking up. You was breaking up.
I was.
You was breaking up.
Okay, I'll ask the question again.
Yeah.
Do you think the reason why you're not married, or first of all, why are you not married? That's, you can answer that, and then I said, do you think it's because you're around a lot of single women, or you're not around enough married men?
It I would say I'm ready for marriage. That's my personal preference, and I'm not enough around. Well, I go around the church, but they don't in church. They don't push around the idea of marriage as much, even though there are married people there.
So why are you not married?
You,
Yeah, why are you not married?
oh, because I'm not ready for marriage.
You just
I'm not ready for marriage.
didn't you just say you ready for marriage?
What you
Liara,
mean?
did I hear him? Didn't he say that?
No, I clearly just said.
Oh, you say you're not ready for marriage.
Clearly said I
I didn't
wasn't
hear that.
married.
It sounded like,
Let's blame it
Yes, I
on
said
the
I'm not ready for marriage.
let's blame it on the
Yeah,
internet,
we.
because it sounded like you said you were ready for marriage. It sounded like the AT&T commercial, I guess.
yeah,
No,
yeah.
I clearly said I'm not ready for
Listen,
marriage.
it's recorded, bro. It's recorded, so you can always go back and watch the tape. Ain't no problem. Okay, so so
Oh,
you're
I
not
just
ready for
said.
marriage. Okay, so you're not ready for marriage. Let's go with that.
Oh, I
Hey,
just said I'm not ready for marriage.
let's go with that. See, listen. Hey, look at what this person said.
See, we got a witness.
Listen.
What? I clearly just
What?
said I was not ready for marriage.
Hey, you saying it
Don't ask,
now?
if you don't mind me asking, how old are you?
You
I'm
gotta
just
work on your internet,
31.
bro. Only
What he said?
he said he only 31. What are you talking about, bro?
30. I'm just
You
31.
31? You should have been married at 27, 28.
I agree. I think it's getting kind of late.
So,
Sorry.
because yeah,
I mean,
you know what I'm
for
saying?
me, I think no,
What
I
makes you
really feel like a
not ready
man
though?
should be looking
Oh,
for.
this is a dope conversation, bro. Yeah,
I
the
mean, I
fire
think
is on you,
man,
bro.
I
What
think
makes
I think men should wait at least 35 to 40.
Based on what information?
Whoa.
No, hold on, Liara. I hold on. Based on what information?
Because like one a man's his financial peak starts at 35 to 40.
I knew it was because of finances, like that financial peak. I think he was going toward that. But what makes you not ready though? Is it because of your is it you specifically
I
are
mean, like far as financially wise, because it's very expensive.
okay.
What is expensive?
What is
What's expensive?
expensive? Like,
Yeah.
well, I haven't done the math to say. Well, me clearly, I didn't haven't done the math towards the state I live in and who I'm going to be with. Especially if she wants one child or 3 kids. I don't know who that is.
All right.
I think
Go ahead, Liara. I have so many words.
it's.
I have so many words.
I don't want you to lose your words, so you go ahead and I'll feed off of what you're saying.
All right, homie. Like Nucleus got married at 26. I got married at 27. Several of my homies got married in their 20s. I got a guy, a friend. He got married like at 19. They're still married. He's a millionaire now. Got if you ever pay attention to Anton Daniels, he got married at like 22, right? You're saying that you said that you're 31 and not even ready to be married. So it sounds like you won't get married. Like 31 and you're not even thinking about being ready.
I
So
probably
why
will,
would
but I would
watch this,
like
watch
to.
this. But watch this. I'm saying you post a lot about marriage and about women. Okay. A young lady that you may be interested in,
Okay.
she's gonna run the tape. Okay. And how are you going to be able to justify
Okay.
your statements? And you know what I'm saying? Because that's going to be pretty important. If you stand on something, you're gonna have to stand on it, right? So at 31, what are you doing to prepare yourself for when you are ready to be married? Like, what are you doing now?
I'm in school now.
What does that mean? So if because you're in school, that means you can't be married?
I mean, that's for me. I mean, I don't want to be married while I'm in school. I'd rather be doing something on my own first, then get married, then make the decision, then get married. Not just go out there free ball with no plan. I have no plan. I have plan
so you
for
just start
myself,
working
but
on a
I'm
plan.
not have no plan to take care of somebody else. Right.
Okay. So you just started working on a plan maybe 2-3 years ago. As far as, is that right?
I think that's the issue.
You just started working on a plan like 2 or 3 years ago. Did you hear me?
On one plan for myself or trying?
Yeah, for yourself. For yourself.
Okay.
I'm asking.
Yeah, for myself, not trying to take care of somebody else.
Right. So what I'm saying is, and my point goes back, it makes my point. Because you were not thinking about marriage like when you're 22, 23, 24, right? You're late, just like a woman would be late. Go ahead,
Right.
Liara. Go ahead.
So that also goes back to like that can be like it can come full circle back to like what you're being taught at home, like how did you what morals and values were instilled in you from a young age, and how that has affected you now as an adult, you know, and what your focuses were as you grew older through your teenage years. And I think we see that pattern happening now, especially if you come from, like, if there are children that come from like single parent homes and stuff like that. Like, it's hard to think about marriage, like a functional like being in a functional marriage. And um when you have that background, it's hard to relate to that. So I think people separate themselves from that, not saying that you were from that type of background, but I'm just saying, I'm speaking generally, you know, like, and we see the patterns of why this happens, what needs to be addressed, and how it should be addressed is what we should be speaking about, really. But it's not spoken about enough. So that's why we have to then be in these situations where we're even comparing single moms and broke men. Like, it's just because now it's like we have single moms who actually they have to now, what do they have to choose from at this point? They also, you got, what was that?
Are you talking about who they choose for marriage?
Yeah, like, okay, choosing moving forward in general, like just dating, with dating wise, I guess, or marriage, like.
They maybe single mothers don't have issues with dating because a man, you know what I'm saying, just a regular man sees her as being able to uh, have, you know, relation with.
Okay, all
You
right.
know what I'm saying? So she is seen as she's not off the top seen as marriage material.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Okay, so let me break this down for you of what also is happening. I don't know what people's faith is and what their religions are, but I'm gonna tell you what I see. And I used to have this conversation with my wife. Um, women want a man that is traditional, but a traditional man usually uh, submits himself to a higher authority in his faith, right? For me, it would be God. Somebody else, it may be Allah, whatever, but they submit themselves to a higher authority, right? So a woman looking for that, but she's not willing to submit herself to the guy, right? So then you have, let me see if I'm saying this right. Then you have um, the guy doesn't submit to a higher authority, but he wants a woman that's going to submit to him,
Wow. Yep. Mm-hmm.
right? And so both individuals are not moving in a productive manner. Specifically, I'm gonna just talk about my faith, right? If you are not aligned with Jesus in the biblical format,
Unequally.
then yeah, unequally yoked, right? You're gonna have a very hard time in
Yep.
like finding somebody is in current standard. That's why I was saying before, like a man that's ready to be married can find a woman, right? Like I don't think that I'm gonna have an issue whenever I started looking for a woman or a wife to have, because my mindset is not the same as it is like yours, Byron. You know what I'm saying? My mindset is I know what it takes to build a marriage, right? I know what type of lady I'm gonna be looking for, right? So
Right.
the issue that you may have, I don't know your faith, I don't know what your strength is or whatever, because that other quote that you made was off the chain, by the way. You know what I'm saying? We'll talk about that one other day. But when a woman wants a man that is uh, the traditional, then she needs to be a submissive woman. And if a man wants a woman that is traditional, then he needs to be a submissive husband to God. And things you'll see a totally different uh, stats on marriages staying together.
And that's basic relationship in general, right? Like, that's where it should be. That's the foundation of a solid long lasting marriage. But now we're on the topic of like, we're on the topic of single moms, and now you're looking at this a whole different way. So this single mother now, is she in a place where she is like ready for and committed to be in a marriage? And if so, then what does she have, again, what does she have to choose from, like in terms of her, the person looking
Her
for
marketplace value is reduced.
hers, you're saying?
Hers is, yes,
So
her
there- so
marketplace
therefore,
value is reduced.
so therefore, what does she have to choose from? Like, what is she?
Somebody that would like her, like, you know what I'm saying? So there's somebody that would like her. I'm not saying that there's nobody, but I'm saying oftentimes what I've come across is that just watching other podcasts and then, you know, talking to other women, they feel like their value is higher than it is. So, for example,
As a single mother?
yeah, as a single mother, they, not all of them, I'm not saying all of them, but the average one feels like she should get the guy that is a top, not like in the 10%. Well, that's rare to happen.
That's
can
unfair.
it happen? Everybody think that they're Sierra. You see?
But it's unfair. It's so unrealistic. Like, why do these young people feel like they have this, like,
because of Sierra. They watch celebrities and they think that
it's so,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. It's like it's hard to say it like that too. Like, this person is diminished in value, like, because
not her marketplace value. I'm not saying that she's a bad person.
I know.
I'm saying, okay, let me ask you a question.
It's harsh.
Okay,
it's a harsh way to
whatever.
say
It is not harsh. It's not harsh at all. Have you bought a car before? You see it. I know you see it. You bought a car before?
I know what you're saying.
Okay. So is it harsh that the price is a different price because there's a ding? Is that harsh? Do you go to the dealer and say, man, that's harsh, bro? Like, you telling me that this car is a lesser value because it got a ding in it? Yes.
Oh my gosh. Okay, but
and this is exactly the conversation I would have with my wife, because women have a hard time telling another woman that a negative. You know what I'm saying? It's hard for y'all to do that. Men do it every day.
Right.
I don't think I have a hard time being truthful. Okay. Yep. I think I'm straight like that. Yep. I think I could be truthful, but I think saying things a certain way, it can be harmful. So
give another word then.
Not another word, like not saying that you, like say, I'm not saying that you need to dumb it down or make it nice and sweet and sugarcoat. I don't like sugarcoating, but I don't feel like it's helpful or conducive to single mothers to hear that they have.
Yes, they need to hear that. You need to listen. We just told Byron. You didn't say that to Byron when I told Byron he late. You didn't say Byron. You see how you that's a sexist statement,
right?
You was cool with me saying it to Byron, but then you struggle to hear me say it about women.
I just it's just like, I don't know, like
so was it not hard? And I didn't even say it to no particular woman. I said it specifically to Byron.
But I don't feel okay. So the reason why I'm also with this a little bit is because of by you marketplace value. Okay, by you saying it in that way, it's sort of like what is the value of a single mother in the first place? Like, if you like, I think honestly
depends on her beauty. If she's fine, then it's increased.
It's not just beauty though, it's also
whatever.
Like, care of her kids. Like,
whatever.
How does she take care of her kids though? Like, that's
listen. You're talking about marriage, right?
In terms of like courting somebody for marriage and how. Yes, when you say marketplace value, that's what I'm thinking, because
Her beauty is first. Guys look at her beauty first.
okay, so if she's not run down looking, right? Okay,
If
fine.
she's not run down looking, he doesn't even know she has kids or not. Okay.
But that's also okay, I get that aspect, but it's also, to me, I think value also comes from how she cares for her children and what she does to provide for them and rear them in a way where they have values and morals. Like, again, if you don't instill that into your kids, then if you decide to be with this single mother, how would she then raise your children? So that's also extremely valuable, in my opinion. You also get like a view into how she will raise your kids, and I think that kind of makes up for like that ding on the side, that you were talking about. Like, there's the value that decreases in one way can increase in another way. That's how I see it. That's how I see it.
That's not this, and that's fine how you see it. You're a woman. We're trying to get the single woman to be to see her value from a man's perspective.
I get it, and I get that for real. But I also feel like men can gain something from being with a single mother as well. Like, in terms of having that, being able to foresee what can happen with their potential kids.
Okay, let me ask you this question then. Okay, let's say that I agree with you on
That's
that.
something in the comments. I didn't.
The value is revealed after they have been dating for a while. Yeah. But that is exactly true. That won't happen until he approaches her, though.
Right, I agree.
And she has to be attractive. Like, what I said before is this. Okay, is that a top 10%, top 20% dude is not looking for a dude that, more specifically, a dude that's a high earner that has no kids. Okay, is not going to be looking for a woman that has kids. Sierra is an anomaly. We would have to deep dive, like, Russell Wilson's thought process and why he would choose her, because he could have chosen a lot of different women, but he chose her. But that's a rarity, though. It's not the norm, right? It's a rarity. Okay. So when I
know
that's fine. You don't know, but if you then
I see
watch this. Then you see it often. You say you see it often.
Not often, okay, but I'm seeing it more.
That's
often.
what you said.
I'm seeing it more often. I'm seeing it more often than I did in the past. But I think it's because people feel like there is no they're losing their options in a way. I
would like to have a conversation with those people. If you know them, we need to have them on the show.
I was thinking that we're actually missing a single mother here.
100%. 100%. That's Byron's job. You know what I'm saying? Listen, matter of fact, I'm looking into bringing on a lady that that's a single parent. That's a single parent and she homeschools. Okay.
Yes.
As a matter of fact, it's a group. Okay, so I went looking out and I got to see what the time frame will be for her.
Is she? Okay. Is she also? I also have somebody in mind as well, but
cool. I wanted to ask you a question though, Liara. I wanted to ask you this question. All the what is the word that I'm looking for? The saving that you have for these single women, do you see the same saving for broke men?
Yeah, so I was actually thinking about that while we were discussing other things just now. So I was thinking about, like, yes, I have the same empathy. Like, I feel like
you have empathy for a broke dude. Okay,
I do, because sometimes it's hard. Like, whatever the case, I don't know the case, so it's case by case for me in terms of single motherhood.
But that would always be the case, though. It's always a situation for individuals. We're speaking in generalities, because you're not going to be able to pinpoint every single scenario. But if you speak in general context to some degree, like I addressed Byron because he's here, right? And I address you because you're here, right? We're just addressing the general population. which I know is a struggle for some people.
Yeah, it's hard for me because I just feel like there's a lot of different aspects to take into account when you're speaking about like a populace. But it's okay. So you have, so you're saying, would I repeat the question about
What
broke?
would you do? You have the same thought process as you do for single mothers as you do for broke men?
Yes, and I'll tell you
Ex-
why.
Please do.
Because um like I was actually talking about this with my husband before we came on, and I was just like, if a person, if like, okay, if a woman has like no money, right, and she is completely in love with this man, and she's willing to give her life for this man, and just pour into him, have all his kids, stay home, take care of them, whatever she has to do to maintain this marriage, okay, she's going to do it. That's valuable to me, right? In that relationship, I think it is equally valuable when a man does the same for a woman in that aspect,
And he don't have no job.
minus money. That's what I'm saying. So if
So
no,
you
no,
so that's a
hold
double
on,
standard.
hear me out. So I feel like that can be just as valuable in that sense, okay? But I can see how problematic it could be, but I don't. But just looking at it like just specifically in that way, I I can I can accept that, like, to a level. Like, it's like, okay, so for example,
You can accept a broke dude, so you cool
no,
with
I'm
your
okay.
husband being broke?
Specifically, I don't want to deal with
Well,
that. But no, wait, hold on. I don't want to deal with that. But
what? Wait a minute. Hold on. So you don't want to deal with a broke dude, but you trying to tell me that another woman should be willing to deal with a broke dude?
I'm not saying that they should, but I understand if they do. I understand if they do.
How? When the guy's primary job is to be a provider. That
Because
is his job
what if
type.
what if
That is his description.
what if he
Right.
had like he's having it rough, and she just decides like, okay, I'm gonna
That's different. Having it
invest
rough is different.
person, and if I invest in this person, and they end up turning around and end up being that provider for their family, like, forever after that, then what's like, what's to say that cannot happen? That can't happen.
This is what I know about dudes. Okay.
Tell
And
us.
I've been around a lot of dudes that are productive. Okay. That's my circle. My circle is nothing but productive dudes. My kinfolk is on Nucleus Johnson. Super productive dude. Like he been dope since I known him as a youngster. Okay. He married his high school sweetheart. Okay. Takes care of her, takes care of their kids. You know what I'm saying? I don't know his financial status. You know what I'm saying? But there's no way that he's looking at, okay, I don't have enough. Like a broke dude to me is one that settles.
Mm.
Right?
Now we're talking
Like,
about now we're talking
so
about
when I
definition of broke is again.
right, so right, because a dude that makes $100,000 doesn't mean that he spent his money well. It doesn't mean that he invests well. It doesn't. It does. That's not what that means. It just means that's what he brings into the house, right? But what is he doing? What is he trying to do
Right.
long term, right? So the broke person, like a college dude, right? Like a college dude would be considered a broke dude. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to King Introvert. You know what I'm saying? Who's back in school, right? So he would be considered a
Yeah.
broke dude, right? However, does he have a plan moving out towards graduation? That's when my wife
Right.
saw me. Right.
Right. That's what I'm
Right.
saying. Oh,
You didn't. Okay. That's fine. If that's what you're saying, that's what you're saying. Okay. But a guy that, like, but most oftentimes, because the conversation is, should we see them as the same? Right. And I would say yes, to a degree. Right.
mhm. To a degree. Okay.
Okay. All right. I don't, okay. I don't know who you talking about. He said, I can't take her seriously, respectfully. I don't know who you talking about. So maybe you talking about a single mother. Maybe you talking about a single mother. Are you talking about a single mother, Neo Moses? Are you talking
Or
about
me?
are you talking about Leo? All right. So
I'm listening. I have to play devil's advocate when it comes to and
I do the same
put
thing.
that in quotes because I don't think I don't think I mean a devil's advocate when I'm saying when I'm speaking on all aspects of the situation. I think all aspects need to be addressed thoroughly
Yeah.
when you're speaking about a populace. I don't ever want to hear people say ignorant things about a group of people ever, you know. So if it's considered
Oh
ignorant,
well, you must don't listen to you must turn off a lot of conversations.
of course, well, it's not that I turn it off. I listen through, but then I also address those specific things
Okay.
that said. You know, I don't ignore them. So I feel like if we're not having that if we're not having that dialogue and addressing everything, then what
Okay.
is the dialogue? You know, like so I'm in this specific topic. Like I know people that are like experiencing these these things, these situations. So like I want to be like sensitive and I want to address everything, but I also want to do it honestly as well. So that's why I'm
I see. I see. I kind of have an idea what you're trying to say, Byron. What you haven't said much. What do you have to say before we get off?
also Neo Moses responded.
No women is
I
ignoring
look at
hypergamy built
it
in
as
them.
I don't know what that means.
Me neither.
that's okay.
What did you say something? We're saying that you have something
But
to bring
yeah,
to
I
state.
understand both y'all views.
Who right?
Oh no.
I didn't even give a solid answer on this
Huh?
thing anyway. But I agree. I agree that it can be seen equal. It's
I know,
similar to
right?
saying I agree that they could be seen equally, but it's similar to saying like um sin is a sin, right? Like you can judge like either sin as the same because it's both sin. So I get that's where my faith comes in and like seals it up for me that yes, you can look at these things the same. So that's I don't see anything wrong with looking at them the same.
And then it would also hold both people accountable, is why I
Mhm.
say, because like I said in the beginning, I said that man looks at the womb and the woman looks at the price tag, if you will.
Right.
Right. You know, I know that sounds harsh, you know what I'm saying, but that is what it is. I
Or
didn't make it. I didn't make the thing. I didn't make it happen. You know, it is that this is the answer. The answer is yes. They should look at that as the same. Why? Because we will be able to hold these people accountable as it relates to you should think twice about being a single mother. You should
right.
think twice about being a broke dude. Okay?
Agreed.
Because if both people change their mindset, you're changing the community.
Wow. Ding 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 ding.
Byron, what you got, man? It's on you, bro. You got the last word, King Introvert.
Oh, I was just saying, going to say, oh, it, my viewpoint would be like, I think Kevin Samuels said it best. Like, he will ask women that, like, what have you given? Where you when you go into a single mother going to a new relationship, what can you give a man that you already gave to another man?
Well, her womb is still open. If it's yeah, her womb is still open. If it I'm just saying her her criteria needs to be different. I'm not saying a single mother can't get married. Just saying that
Okay,
what is said is that
all right,
your value is reduced to whoever your baby daddy is, because you
yeah,
can't say you know what I'm saying, like for a woman to be like, I want a man that's going to help me take care of my son or my daughter, right? But he has to be more than what his own daddy does or is. That's kind of
right,
unrealistic. You know what I mean? Will it happen? Can it happen? She got to be a dope chick. She got to be dope and like beautiful. She got to be submissive. I mean, she got to be several things in order for that to happen. But you know, we definitely appreciate those that tuned in today. Thank y'all for your time. We'll be back at it next week. You know, Liara, what you want to say? You got something you want to say? I didn't mean to say Byron had the last word. You know what I'm saying?
I feel like we really summed it up on this. We did pretty well. We came to a middle ground.
That's what's up. This is where you come to get answers and not just dialogue. You dig?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, until then, you know, we seriously curious, and we out of here. Deuces.